Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Maulana Muhammadin wa alihi wa azwajihi wa zurriyyatihi ajma'in. We want to talk about substance. Substance, the concept. We'll start with the dictionary meaning. So, substance is, according to the dictionary, let's see, in the dictionary, I think this is Oxford Languages, a particular kind of matter with uniform properties. Okay, a particular kind of matter. This is in English language, obviously. Properties. The example given is a steel tube coated with a waxy substance. So particular kind of matter here is steel, and waxy substance is its property. Here we can also see that substance is something to which you attribute properties. Okay. Another meaning of substance, related meaning of substance is okay. So the real physical matter of which a person or a thing consists of, which has tangible solid present. So substance is what constitutes physical matter or a person. Example given here is proteins compose much of the actual substance of the body. So protein are those constitutive elements which of which human body is made of. Okay, so it's something solid, something permanent. Okay. The third meaning is the most important or essential part of something. This comes close to the philosophical meaning of substance. Substance is also closely related to another concept called essence. So substance is the most important or essential part of something. Essential in the sense that without that part, that thing won't be that thing. So in order to, the philosophical exercise, a form of abstraction. In order to come up with the essence of something, you try to abstract in a thought process anyway. Any properties of things which you can abstract from that thing without losing that the basic identity of that thing. So for example, if we are talking about a table, we can easily change its color without changing its nature as a table. Okay, so essence and substance are something related, but not the same. At least we aren't able to say that at this point. So the third meaning, this is the dictionary meaning, the most important or essential part of something. So that comes close to, as we will see, what substance is in philosophical use. The example they've given here is the substance of the Maastricht Treaty. Okay, another one is the subject matter of a text. The third one is so that was the second one somehow. The third one is the quality of being most important. That's same thing, valid or sufficient. The quality of being important, valid or significant. The claim has no substance. That is also related. The quality of being dependable or stable, I think that's more important, so we will finish with that. Okay, so this is the last one, the quality of being dependable or stable. This comes close to the one of the main philosophical meaning, because substance is something which is stable in a thing and doesn't change. And one of the function of the concept of substance in ancient philosophy was to deal with the issue of motion. As you know, the Heraclitus says that everything is in motion, and Parmenides says that everything is static, everything is stationary, and motion is just an illusion. You might have heard of Zeno's paradoxes. He was a follower of Parmenides. And Plato tried to Plato was very much influenced by Parmenides, but he couldn't ignore Heraclitus' views either. So he tried to sort of combine or come up with how motion is possible. And one of the thoughts behind the explanation of motion was that you can't explain motion if everything is in motion, because motion is always relative to something which is stationary, which is stable, which is not moving, which is not changing. So we see a lot of changes, but we can't explain those changes without assuming that there is something which doesn't change. And that thing which doesn't change in a particular thing is a substance. So that relates to the meaning, dictionary meaning here, the quality of being dependable or stable. So for example, table, a lot of things in table can change without table ceasing to be table. A lot of things in table are changing, but there must be something which is not changing in order for that change to be possible. And that something, whatever it is, and there's a lot of debate about what that actually is, that is the substance of that table. So substance is that which doesn't change. That's one of the explanations in a thing. And those things which change are its properties. Okay, so what is let's look at the etymology a bit. that gives us often good sense of a word. So substance come from Latin. Substance is from Latin substare, from Latin substart, standing firm. That gives us good idea about what substance is, what something which stands firm while everything else is changing. So substance of a table is something which doesn't change while this table is this table. Something, obviously different philosophers define substance differently. We'll look at it. But this is the basic sense of substance. For example, if you say tree is tree is a substance because it can stand on its own. But green is not a substance because green cannot stand on its own. It has to be attributed to something which can stand on its own. So we'll say tree is substance, and this is property. Or sometimes they call it accident. And as you can see, it sort of neatly corresponds to a grammatical distinction between subject of a sentence and predicate. And a lot of people, especially in early 20th century and after, and before that as well, for example, a lot of nominalists within Western history philosophy and Islamic philosophy, for example, Ibn Taymiyyah, for example, they have said that, this is not a real, we are just reading distinctions we have made in our language back to the reality. This distinction doesn't exist in reality as such, etc. So the whole question of whether this classification is a classification which we make through our reason in order to understand the world, or does that classification actually exist within the world itself? So these are sort of difficult questions which arise when we come up with this conception of, or this distinction between substance and properties, or substance and accident. So yeah, but it's a very important concept. So we'll just we'll continue this today. We just sort of started it and paved the ground for some more discussion. Thank you.